Hello everyone, this is Father Joaquin Ibarra from the IVE Seminary in Maryland. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus spoke to the crowds and to his disciples, saying, "The scribes and the Pharisees have taken their seat on the chair of Moses. Therefore, do and observe all things whatsoever they tell you, but do not follow their example. For they preach, but they do not practice. They tie up heavy burdens hard to carry and lay them on people's shoulders, but they will not lift a finger to move them. All their works are performed to be seen. They widen their phylacteries and lengthen their tassels. They love places of honor at banquets, seats of honor in synagogues, greetings in marketplaces, and the salutation, Rabbi. As for you, do not be called Rabbi. You have but one teacher, and you are all brothers. Call no one on earth your father, you have but one Father in heaven. Do not be called master, you have but one Master, the Christ. The greatest among you must be your servant. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, but whoever humbles himself will be exalted." The Gospel of the Lord. Today's Gospel is inviting us to talk about hypocrisy. The Gospel presents one of the most striking criticisms that Jesus makes against the religious leaders of his time, the scribes and the Pharisees. He acknowledges their authority, for they have, as Jesus said, have taken their seat on the chair of Moses. However, he warns his disciples and all those listening to him not to imitate their example, because they preach but they do not practice. And the things that they do, they just do them to be seen. This passage is a powerful call for authenticity in our faith and a warning against the dangers of hypocrisy. Jesus condemns the hypocrisy of the scribes and Pharisees because they burden others with laws and obligations, but they refuse to help carry their weight. Their actions are not driven by love of God, but by a desire to be seen, to be honored, and to be admired. Always at the base and as the agent of all our actions should be the love of God. St. John Chrysostom, commenting these passages, he says, "A teacher who does not practice what he preaches will not only be despised, but will also ruin those who listen to him." This warning is not just of the Pharisees, for the Pharisees. It is for all of us. We often do find ourselves concerned with how others perceive or look at us, rather than with the sincerity of our hearts before God. St. Augustine reminds us, "Men see the deeds, but God weighs the intentions." Faith is not merely about external observance, but mainly about true conversion of heart. If we act only for the approval of others in an exterior way, our actions will become empty, and we will be like a tree without fruits. The key then of this message of the Gospel of today is that our faith must be genuine. Jesus does not reject the law, but insists that external observance must flow from an interior conversion. He calls us to integrity, where our words and actions reflect the love of God in our hearts. St. Basil the Great gives a powerful warning about empty religious practices. He says, "Words alone do not make a person holy. A man is just only if his works are just." And St. Francis of Assisi tells us, "Preach the gospel at all times. When necessary, use words." but we first preach the gospel with our actions. Let us then ask the Lord for the grace to live our faith with sincerity, avoiding the pitfalls of hypocrisy and pride. May we not only preach, but also practice, not only believe, but also live the gospel. And may our lives reflect the humility and love of Christ, who came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life for all of us.
If you found this video fruitful, please feel free to share it with a friend or family member. Or if you would like to learn more about our missionary priests throughout the world and how to support them, please visit iveamerica.org. Thank you for watching, and God bless.